Welcome back to Buddy Buddy. I'm here today with my roommate, Mr. Alex Tabick. Alex,
What's going on?
thank you for coming on my podcast.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Seriously,
Bro. I'm super grateful to have you here. When I brought up this idea to do this, you were very quick to support me. You've loved this idea and the meaning behind it of building community, and so it's only right. I mean, partially because you live with me, but it's only right as you are part of my community to have you here.
oh, dude, it's been like so exciting, like getting to see like each like step of the process, like from like the birth of the idea, just like watching you kind of like get excited about something, and it takes courage to like get out of the routine and the mundaneness of life sometimes to like have like that creative thought, and just you having the guts to actually run with it takes courage. So I mean, like any sort of like encouragement, like feeding that fire, just like,
Yes,
I'm here for you, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And you understand that creative mindset and running with an idea because you write a blog. You have a blog.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
you make music and stuff like that. So like
Yeah, a lot of little things.
you are a creative. Like so you are
Guess so.
definitely, I would describe you as a creative person. So you understand the like getting past the idea stage and trying to put something into action
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh man, it's definitely a challenge. Like I read it somewhere where you have 30,000 thoughts like around a day, right?
Yeah.
And like some of those are like, oh, when am I going to eat? When am I going to, what's the next thing on my to-do list? And like for creatives, that takes up like a big portion of it, and some ideas are terrible, and then some ideas, they're a little bit too good to be true.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's leaning into those ideas that kind of seem crazy in the moment, and it puts you outside of like your comfort zone. I know for like my blog, like specifically, I know it's like, I feel like it's kind of like old school to do, just like writing your thoughts down, and like a blog feels like totally like 90s vibe,
Yeah.
But it's honestly like, I'm not like wanting to become famous off of my blog, but it's just first primarily is for me just to get like my ideas out there, and for me to like process kind of like what like the purpose of this like podcast is, kind of
For sure.
like for me personally, just like engaging and asking like those like hard questions, and like having others. I've gotten like some comments like, oh man, like that was so encouraging, or any like little piece of like encouragement was like just like a fuel to like,
it's a fuel to keep
fire
going.
Yeah, so
for
it's
sure.
so cool.
When you were starting your blog, I don't know how you were like growing up in school. Were you very good at writing? Was like the English subjects like pretty easy for you?
It was.
Or is this like something out of your comfort zone where you like doubt your writing ability, so making a blog was like hard?
Oh man, so like in school, homeschool growing up. I don't know if you knew that.
I might have known that, but
maybe.
homeschooled.
Yeah.
Got it.
So it was mainly, mom looking over my shoulder and like, oh, you need to write this again. And her mom was an English teacher, so
Okay.
like some of that was like instilled like in me through her growing up. So like she was like, English was like had to be like a perfect subject, like especially in high school. And then I feel like once like in high school you start like gaining interest in like certain things, and like I just like, that was my favorite subject in high school, and so I would much rather write like a 500, like maybe like 3-page, 5-page, like didn't even care how many page essay I had to write. Like I would have loved to write that, like rather than like studying for like an exam or something like that. Like I could explain it to you, I could like illustrate it, all like, be that creative person that I am. But when it comes to taking a test, that was like, not much rather do an essay.
Yeah, I was kind of the opposite in school.
Word, yeah.
English, I never felt like I was terrible, but I wasn't great at the creative side of it. I could get the main points, but I couldn't like make it seem like it was
Yeah.
like this dramatic story that like could draw in people's emotions. I was pretty just like, here's this, here's the point, here's the point, here's the point. And so
Right,
it
right.
struggled for me to write. I was not a very good writer,
Man.
but I feel like on the opposite side, like now you're writing blogs
Yeah.
as part of like something you like to do, and I'm starting this podcast.
Yeah.
One of like my favorite like classes was like public speaking. Like,
Whoa, that's
yeah,
a lot of people don't like that.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I actually
Wow.
took it while I was like a senior in high school.
Way
But
cool. That's awesome.
I took it at Spartanburg Community College, right up the road,
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't know. I don't know if it was the professor that I had because she was super cool, or I had a best friend at the time that was in the class with me,
Yeah.
and so it maybe gave me that comfort level to say like at least I got one supporter regardless of how bad my speeches are.
Right.
Uh,
That always helps.
I don't know what it was, but I felt like in that moment I understood that I could communicate my ideas better than I could write them down.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that might have been like an early on like thought that like I could do something where I'm using my voice versus writing it out in form.
Yeah, yeah,
So
right.
English has not been like the writing part has not been easy for me.
Yeah. I feel like any form of like communication, whether like public speaking or like or writing, any form of that communication is like so essential. It's not just it, because it doesn't matter the data or the information that you have, it's how you like present it like to like individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I was I took a public speaking class too. I was like intimidated because my dad's a good speaker but my mom isn't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, growing up I was like, man, am I gonna be like, you know, because you know you tend to like gravitate towards like different traits, like depending on how close you are with your parents and
Yeah.
stuff. So I was like, oh man, am I gonna? Man, it's kind of intimidating having my dad is a really great speaker. You know, it's like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna be. You know,
Yep.
but I think I'm okay. I mean, I don't
think
know.
you do pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd much rather, you know, hide
So,
behind a computer screen and type out my.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know if people can hear it, but you definitely have a different accent because you definitely didn't grow up here down in the South.
no,
You're
no.
from New York.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh,
Born and raised. What's up?
born and raised in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't 100%, but I
From
was
the
like,
block. What's up?
yeah, from Brooklyn. I've spent minuscule amounts of time in Brooklyn from mission trips that I've been on with church.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so
That's what's
I've
up.
been in Brooklyn a few
When
times.
when was the last time you
They
were
would
there?
well, it's been years, but
Yeah.
I went like 3 summers in a row, but it was like from I think like 2014 to 2016 ish range, somewhere around there.
Cool.
I might have the years wrong, but it's around somewhere right there.
Right. Cool.
But either way, so
That's awesome.
what brought you down to South Carolina?
Yeah. That's
Because your family's not here. Your family's everywhere.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
your parents still in New York.
Yeah, I got
So-
parents in New York. I got another sister that's also in New York. One sister that lived in California. It's in like a transition phase where she's like moving, like moving and stuff. And then I have another brother in Tennessee with his wife too. So a little bit of everywhere. I got family in Jersey. You know, shout out to grandma. What's up? You know, but yeah. Initially, so I've lived like not just in Brooklyn. I went to like school in like this little Bible school in Pennsylvania, you know. But initially, it was for chiropractic school, you know. So you gotta go for so right after Bible school, took a year off, then came back to school, decided to change it up instead of going to like a Brooklyn school, like all of like my other relatives or some I wanted to go to like Manhattan, you know, to like try that out. So I went to BMCC, which is a school in Manhattan, for maybe like a year and a half, and then to get prerequisites to go to Sherman College of Chiropractic. So my dad's a chiropractor, so that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
and that's something that I've always like loved and been interested in. I love that alternative side of like health. So I was like, sounds like a really good idea, and I love what he does, and I support him. So like, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know. And
what
so
made the switch from Bible college to chiropractic? outside of your dad does chiropractic?
Funny enough, it was actually in a public speaking class.
That's funny. That's
Yeah,
funny.
that's because I don't think I've told you that before. So funny enough, in a public speaking class, they gave us pretty much a lot of flexibility. They're like three main projects throughout that whole semester, like different types of speeches. Basically, I don't remember specifically. Like one was like informative, and then you got another one. But I was so oblivious to this, and my brother. I was going to school with my brother at the time too.
Hmm.
Um, was totally oblivious. After the whole semester, he was like, I was looking over my subjects or my projects for that course, before we took the final, just to, like, review and stuff.
Hmm.
And he looks over my shoulder, he's like, "Why did you just speak on chiropractic the whole time?" And I was like, took a step back. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
You know? And I guess I just, like, ignited, like, a passion of, like, how much I love that, like, side of health,
Hmm.
you know? And, I guess, like, and stuff like that. I love, like, the little intricacies of it, and there's, like, a lot of it's definitely different,
Hmm.
and, like, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool, just like being like that, like, authentic self, more distinct, like did just something different no one else is like talking about. So I like to do that. And so back then it was I guess it was kind of just saying yes right there, like, maybe that's something I thought about. So then after Bible school, I, like, researched the prereqs that I had to do, and I did them, and then that's how I'm here.
Moved down here. And
That's how I
so
moved
you
down here.
moved down here to South Carolina, and we met because you picked up a part-time job
Yeah.
at Bella Latte at the
Yeah.
coffee shop we both still
Yeah.
work at.
Yeah.
And I remember you used to have your old school Volkswagen Beetle.
Oh man, I still miss that thing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
What ended up happening to that car?
Oh man.
I know it wasn't technically reliable. You were always working on it, but
Yeah. Funny enough, like, as soon as I took that Bella job, like maybe a month, maybe like it was like not even a few weeks after I took that job, it like broke down. And,
I
like,
remember you Ubering to work a few times.
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. That happened for like 2 months.
Hmm.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, and then I had like I had another music teaching job in Greenville too. So
Oh
I was
yeah,
like
that's right.
spending like so much money, like, on Ubers and stuff, getting around and stuff. But yeah, I loved working on that thing. It was like a project car that me and my dad did,
Mhm.
and had that thing for like 4 years. And we also, I mean, this was definitely like, this is definitely why, if you're not working on your car, someone someone that is working on your car, either like a mechanic that, or like a friend that'll help you out.
Mhm.
We had like a friend that we knew, like, in Staten Island, that like worked on classic cars, so he would
Mhm.
work on my mom's car. She owns like a 66 Mustang. It's crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. So, um, and I like, so I took my bug to him. I was like, "You work on classic cars. Could you help me out?" So he would, show me like the ins and outs of it. But when I got down here, it's just like I didn't know anyone,
Mhm.
and I was in school, and it was working. So it was like one thing led to another. It's like, you know, gotta put your priorities straight,
Mhm.
and it was like school and work, and the bug wasn't
Wasn't
necessarily
there, so you
a
had
thing. It
to.
was cool,
Yeah, it was sweet
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
I love that thing. I miss it.
But
Miss you, Jackie. What's up?
miss you, Jackie.
Yeah.
So you moved down here for chiropractic school, but you're no longer a student in chiropractic.
Yeah, that's right. That's
So
right.
you have started a business correlating to chiropractic care,
Yeah.
but you are no longer in school to be a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your business. I've still got some questions in it. You have your little workstation set up in the garage,
Yeah, it's currently
but
set up right now.
I'm still a little clueless as to what this product is that you're making.
Yeah, I don't have we
We've talked about it very little, and so
Yeah.
like that's why I'm still kind of like I got questions that need to be filled.
Well,
or
yeah,
answered.
yeah, totally. I mean, this is this is so interesting. I mean, obviously, I love what I do,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved it so much that I left chiropractic school because I realized that that was like the passion. Like I
Mm-hmm.
loved chiropractic, and I love that like side of health and like wellness,
Mm-hmm.
but like ever since I was little, like I'd always be like hanging out near the Legos, just like building stuff, or
Yeah.
like either or like on the computer, like I took like this coding class, whatever, in high school. I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought it would like totally like infiltrate my life in this particular way. It was just
Mm-hmm.
like something totally unexpected. You know, like God totally like used everything from my past to like grow it in ways that I couldn't even imagine
Mm-hmm.
then. And then now is like using all of those like childhood interests to like to create a business, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Like I never would have thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you could go on. I'm actually almost done making the website. I'm like pretty much done doing the prototype, but maybe by the time that this is published, or you could go to dasatech.com, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for more information. It's the business name, right? So to kind of explain it a little bit,
Yeah.
and like really simply, so your like spinal column, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of bones, right? Basically,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are, it's like I don't know, your protective shield that in like that protects the spinal cord, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so each segment actually has branches of these spinal nerves that you know come from the spine, you know, to it connects and innervates and um, all those like different organs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, this there's the machine that I'm developing. Also, it detects those like um, it it detects those variations of spinal nerves that come out of the spine in the form of heat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because energy, electricity, heat, it's all like really like interchangeable on a molecular level, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this particular machine analyzes the electrical thermo differential of the spinal cord. Okay, so what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
You think of like a bone being subluxated, being like outside of its normal place.
Mm-hmm.
This machine could actually detect a particular segment that is out of place, right?
Oh, okay.
And in the direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without it taking the time to do an X-ray, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, so it takes it another step further, and in more of a detailed chiropractic analysis, it actually tells the practitioner um, when to adjust, because basically if the there's a needle that goes back and forth, it basically tells like it tells the practitioner, you know, gives it a form of analysis like which direction. But if the line is centered, that means that particular segment is good.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need for adjustment there.
Yeah.
So what happens after an adjustment? That's the really interesting thing. After the adjustment, if you do like what we call a pre-scan, you actually see the needle actually straighten out. What does that mean? That means the bones are like properly aligned. It
Mm-hmm.
actually kind of shows the chiropractic practitioner how well they did
Oh, that's
in
cool.
their adjustment
Yeah.
too, right? So it's because in you know, let's compare it to like an X-ray. An X-ray is like is a picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a frozen picture in time that you know gives us like you know where specifically those bones are. And like even I mean there's even you could take a CBCT scan. It's like basically taking a three-dimensional image of the upper cervical spine. I mean it's crazy. People go to school for this, obviously, to
Obviously.
become doctors, and then they write like articles and essays, and like they get their theses and you know do all these case studies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this company, DASA Tech, named after actually the inventor of this instrument, the NCM, or the neurokilometer,
Mm-hmm.
right, which basically just means nerve heat measuring device, right? back in 1924.
Hmm.
Yeah. And so the blueprint of what I'm doing is not, I'm not inventing anything new, but they actually, a lot of other companies actually stopped production in the early 2000s. So what I'm doing is I saw a need in the community, and I saw that no one else was really doing anything about it, and it was kind of paired with um, it, I guess, paired with my passion for the particular profession because I grew up in it,
Yeah.
and paired with, I guess, like just my like creativity to see that problem and wanting to solve it. Um, I- and obviously faith in the Lord that He'd given me all of these things,
Hmm.
and I just kind of ran with it. And now I have an official business, and I'm actually at the end of this month and next month I'll have a working prototype of this product, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
But that definitely helps me understand a little
Yeah.
more what this little device is that I see around the house, like what it is actually for.
Yeah, there's a lot of little pieces, and all those
Yeah.
little pieces,
Yeah.
it's like they're tiny pieces to the bigger piece.
Exactly.
And it'll keep growing, in that, that 3D printer will also keep
Well,
printing out prototypes too.
yeah, for sure.
If
But
I
that's
let it, yeah.
super cool, and I'm like glad I actually understand now a little more about what you do.
Yeah.
I always knew it was an instrument used for need and or for chiropractic care, like to aid
Yeah.
practitioners, but I wasn't necessarily sure what the device did.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now that's what I would tell people. I was like, yeah, he owns a business, or he's working on like starting a business where he help like makes a product to help with chiropractic care. And people were like, what does it help blind people? I was like, I can't tell you. Like
Right.
I was like, that's about all I can tell you. Like I don't know,
Right.
I can't go any farther.
There's so many instruments that like actually do the adjustment for you,
Mhm.
and then there are
This is like just detecting
yes.
where we need the adjustment.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It basically it detects the quality flow of the nervous system
Mhm.
from from the brainstem and spinal cord, and
Mhm.
how well it's operating in relationship to like the rest of the body, which
For
is
sure.
just kind of cool. Yeah, there's a few other products that align from this, but the first prototype is like
Mhm.
it's the foundation to some other really cool stuff.
That's
So,
super cool.
yeah.
Well, outside of Bella and this DASA Tech business,
Yeah.
you're heavily involved in your church. You help lead worship.
Yeah.
When did you? You're obviously a uber creative person. You
Somewhat.
creating a business about electronics, so you understand coding and stuff. You write blogs. You do music.
Yeah,
You're a
a little bit.
barista. You are a creative
I don't know.
of creatives that I know. You got your hand in a little bit of everything. So when did the music side of things start for you?
Man, the music thing was actually kind of forced, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So at age, I think I just turned 7 or something, but you found a little 7-year-old kid like sitting next to his mom at a piano bench, and mom's trying to teach this little kid piano, right? And this little kid's me, right?
Yep.
And I wasn't having it. I wasn't being patient enough, or I wasn't sitting still, and mom wasn't being patient. So it was like, oh, I think we need to get a teacher. So from like age 7, it was okay. Piano lessons for I've 4 siblings total in my family, well, including me. So I guess 3 siblings. So all 4 of us took piano
At the same time?
at the same time.
From the same exact teacher?
Yeah, from the yeah,
For the
I
most
think so.
part?
From what I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be a little skewed, but whatever. But yeah, from like 7, it was like strictly like classical piano, which I thought was so boring. I mean, aided me into like what I could, do now, and what I understand and realize that like music theory. And I eventually went on to teaching music, so I learned that from the classical music is really, it taught me not just like what to play, but like why I'm playing it. And it gave me motivation to like learn pop music, or like learn jazz music. That's when I really started getting into music, like 14 or 15. I was learning like songs with like chords, and like like just like cute pop songs you want to impress like your friends with and stuff, or and even more so like in like church setting, like learning worship songs. I thought that was like so cool. Another way to impress friends, but um, later as I started maturing in the Lord, I was like, wow, this is really the music that I'm playing for others is really speaking to me too, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
that was that's how I was. Me and my brother both like. We ended up like taking that and like serving like in like this like small church we grew up at in Brooklyn, and the pastor let us run with it. I mean, we would like lead worship all the time, like in our like little youth group of like sometimes like sometimes it was like 5 of us,
Mm-hmm.
like including me and my brother. It was like 3 other people, you know. And then sometimes it'd be 15. Would be like the max people. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
You know. But yeah,
So that's where the musical side. It all started with being forced to play piano
yeah,
by your mom, which now
yeah.
you're probably super grateful for.
Oh
So
my goodness, so
yeah,
grateful.
yeah.
I am so grateful for
And
that.
so that, because music has definitely led to you, or at least somewhat helping you build your community while you've been here in South Carolina. I mean, a lot of it
Yeah,
in a way, because you're super
you're right.
involved with leading worship at your church, and now you you pretty much, I don't know exactly because we don't go to the same church, but you're involved so much that like you're out a lot
Yeah,
leading, like practicing worship, leading worship, and so
yeah,
your
definitely.
community is, I mean, a lot of it's from your, pretty much from your church
Yeah,
and through
you're right.
music.
Yeah, definitely. Either like it's on what Tuesday night is like you know the main practice that we have for Sunday, and then Thursday night is actually that separate ministry, Garage of God, that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't started by me. I was more inspired by the people who started it. Just a bunch of teenagers wanted to get together and worship. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I
That's
want to
super
be
cool.
a part of that in any
Yeah.
way that I could help. Since
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little older than them, like maybe a little bit more experience on the musical side of things. And I was just like, even if I'm the only one playing guitar, like I don't care. I just want to worship with you guys. And I mean, that's been going on for like 3 years now. And it's
Mm-hmm.
been like, wow, like such a blessing. And now the church and that ministry is kind of like partnered up a little bit with
Oh, that's
like
cool.
leading the youth there too. So it's kind of cool. And I've just like been in the middle of everything, just
Mm-hmm.
like any way that I could serve, you
Any
know.
way I can be a
So
part.
yeah,
That's super cool.
yeah, it's such a blessing, really.
Well, you
Yeah.
broke some news to me recently. Well, you're
You
about
did.
to
Wow.
be you're about to start building a whole new community
Yeah. Oh
because
man.
you're,
No, I haven't told anyone at Bella yet.
well, I might have told John Ives today when he came in,
Okay,
but
okay.
so it might start
That's
leaking,
all
which
right.
I'm sorry,
It's okay. No, no,
but
no. It's gonna happen
it's gonna happen.
eventually. I
But in
don't
a few
care.
months, you are moving to California,
Yeah.
the whole family,
It's still, yeah, pretty much. Pretty
or
much.
the parents and your one of your sisters.
Yeah, parents of one of my sisters. I'm still waiting on the other two siblings, you know.
Yeah, you had to draw your brother from Tennessee and his wife.
Yeah. We
Like,
got it. We
come
got
to
it.
Cali with us. Yep.
Absolutely. And then dad's already, because we got grandma in Jersey, and dad's already like, you're like, I'm buying you a plane ticket to Jersey. You don't have to worry about it,
Hmm.
from Jersey, But it's still like unreal that
Yeah.
I'm doing this. It was like for so when I left school, the main reason why I came down here was school.
Hmm.
So I wanted to, at that moment I was like, I remember I was on the plane ride home back here from Christmas break,
Hmm.
knowing I wasn't going to be in school again. Um, and it was just like a little prayer to the Lord, just Lord, I don't care what happens.
Hmm.
I know you know what's going to happen. I'm giving you this year.
Hmm.
And at this time, next year, let's reevaluate. Let's see what happens.
That's super cool.
And that's like a few weeks later, I was like, you're looking for a job. And I texted Cody, and he was like, yeah, I'm leaving, Bella. And you could, I just replaced him basically,
Yeah, pretty much. My old roommate, by the way.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
crazy,
Hmm.
Um, and then at around the same time, the next year, I was like, Lord, we're reevaluating. I got a job, right? I kind of started a business unofficially. I didn't have the LLC yet. I didn't partner with my dad yet at this point. Dad comes up to me um, that Christmas break, this past Christmas,
Hmm.
and explains to me like, and this kind of confirmed with me in my own like spirit, like even like spiritually, and like even like on another level, he like sits me down and was like, son, I've always wanted to do what you do.
Mm.
And I would like humble me like this is someone who's like he is pretty much a leader in his specialty of chiropractic and goes to chiropractic schools to teach,
Mm.
right? And so like people look up to him, and when your father who you idealize sits down, it's like, I've always wanted to do what you do, but um I've always had a practice and a family to take after, but I've always wanted to develop this side of chiropractic like you have.
Mm.
And that was the moment where we decided that we needed to partner, because like with my expertise on the technology side of things, how would my like where does my credibility come from? Like I don't have any experience
Yeah, for
like
sure.
professionally in the
Mm-hmm.
profession, but someone who actually has like, a he's a doctor of chiropractic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's been one of the heavy advocates for this type of technology in our profession. Um, Even if he wasn't my father, it would be like literally the best pair, like the best team
Yes.
for like something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like yes, a million times yes, let's do it, like.
Mm-hmm.
And so that happens. I come home, I get an LLC. Me and my dad are officially partners in Dasa Tech LLC, which is crazy, right? Um, and that's awesome, right? Um, but continuing on, okay, so what happens after that? Getting an LLC, what do? Do you go back to your full-time job at Bella Latte, or do you continue like developing like what you know to be like basically like what your calling is, what you're like supposed to do in life?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, but now I have at that moment I had like, wow, like I I think this is serious now.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
And so in the back of my mind, like I knew I had to do something about this. And so going back full circle, dad is moving to California, not to retire, but to continue his chiropractic business. And how cool would it be not just to be closer to family, obviously, because
Mm-hmm.
me and my family are really close. I call them all the time. But also like in the business realm of things, where I would like serve the chiropractic community, do case studies in a clinic that is like thriving, out
Mm.
there in California. Also like, um, there are like so many chiropractic mission trips that happen as well, and that would be like another goal to do, like fully fund like a chiropractic mission trip. I actually went on one in what was it, like 2018 or like 2017. It's actually me, my brother, um, Jane, with my sister-in-law's ex-wife, which they weren't even dating at the time.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's another story for another podcast. You have to interview them. They're super cool people, but like like that was another dream that I always have too. Just like
Mm-hmm.
serving my community, not just in like the like health aspect of the chiropractic field too, but
Mm-hmm.
how cool would it be bringing the gospel into that too, like physical and spiritual, like double whammy. I don't know. I dream big. I'm a visionary,
Yeah, for sure.
so
I,
um,
I, I kind of relate on that aspect of being a visionary. I've ran a bunch of ideas with you about what
yeah,
I would like this to become
yeah,
and stuff like that. Well, I just wanted to bring up California because now
yeah,
there's like a deadline, there's a timeline there,
yeah.
and so
Me and my sister don't have like a official date. I think it's like end of October, beginning of November. I don't think I
yeah.
told you that yesterday.
You just said like 3 months ish, 3 4 months. You were just like you
Yeah.
didn't give me a rough day. You were just like, hey, I'm moving to Cali.
We don't have like a specific day yet
No,
either.
you got
So,
plenty of time to figure it out.
yeah,
But
but
but it's just an
yeah,
encouragement, and I think that's super cool that you're doing that and taking that leap of faith to say like I'm gonna
definitely.
move. I've already done it multiple times. I've already moved away from my family, moved to South Carolina. You've already started establishing yourself in this company, and now you're gonna say, I'm not only gonna uproot myself again and move to the other side of the country. I'm gonna do
Right.
it with my family,
Yeah,
And I just think that's super cool.
man,
And
that warms my heart. Thanks
yeah,
for saying that, dude.
yes. But dude, I'm sure we'll have another one before
Oh yeah, yeah.
we
We have
leave.
to.
We got a few more months together. But
Yeah,
I
right.
appreciate you coming and just sitting down and talking with me for a little bit.
Yeah, dude.
And this is what it's all about: learning more about your life. Learning you don't need to learn about my life that too much, but that's okay. We can shoot that for the next one. But
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
wanted to pick your brain a little bit tonight. And I mean, I feel like even though we
Yes.
live together, it's even hard. It's still hard to have good conversation because
Yeah, it is.
things
Yeah.
you are a businessman, and when you're home, a lot of times you're working,
Yeah,
and
I am.
I'm using home as my rest time, and so when I'm
Right,
home, I'm
right.
just trying to chill.
I try to be better with that too, like just like I can't always be working,
Hmm.
I need to like have that balance. So
For sure.
thanks for encouraging even that. So I
Yes, for
appreciate that,
sure.
man.
But thank you again for coming on the
Yeah.
podcast, and we'll definitely do it again.
Yeah. Heck yeah. We have
Yeah,
to.
appreciate it.